first of all, Vishal, thank you. Thanks a lot for agreeing to do this. And my idea behind these chats is essentially to talk to traders like you. Who have sort of been there, done that. They have been in the market for a long time. They have sort of seen lots of ups and downs. And basically, the idea is to get to know not at all the strategies or anything, but more to understand the psychological learnings that the person has acquired over the years, and how we can sort of understand it, and maybe for the benefit of myself as well as the audience, if we could all hear them. So I have been doing this now for some time, and maybe done about 15. I don't exactly have the count, but about 15 odd or 15 20 odd such chats. And I'm really glad to have you with me. So with that, Vishal, obviously you don't need any introduction, so we can straight let me straight jump to my first question, which is, Vishal, if you could maybe just give us a idea. Myself also, I also don't really know you personally, although I have I've been following you on Twitter, but maybe for my and everyone's benefit, where are you originally from, and where did you spend your childhood and your education, and how did you sort of get introduced to stock markets and the world of trading and investing, if you could.
Interesting. Thanks a lot, because I've done so many kind of webinars, YouTube videos, and everything, but nobody asked me about who is Vishal Mehta behind the scene, like where I was born and everything. So thank Gordon for asking this beautiful question. So yeah, quick. I'm a Pakka Bombaya. I've been born and brought up in Bombay. Did my schooling in from Ville Parle.
Hmm.
So very interesting. Like when people tell me that they have a lot of shortcomings in life, I don't
Hmm.
believe it, because it's up to you. Because I started from a vernacular medium where I did not had an exposure to English at all. Like
Hmm.
till 10th standard, I have studied all in my mother language, which is Gujarati.
Hmm.
And then when the opportunity knocks your door, I was able to travel across not only all of India, not in Asia Pacific, but also Europe and America, and have a
Hmm.
conversation. So I'm just trying to give a perspective that the languages and everything is just a thing in your mind. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I did my schooling from a very famous school called Srimati Goklibai Punam Sen Pitambar in high school. So funnily,
Hmm.
I will tell a very small story. Like when I enrolled into Mitibai College, which is like a well-renowned college in Mumbai, and
Hmm.
everybody, like there are like a lot of people who were enrolling, and they
Hmm.
started saying which school you are from, or somebody will say I'm from Saint Xavier, somebody will say Saint Anne, somebody will say Saint Joseph. And
Hmm.
funnily, we had a very long school name, vernacular medium, like Srimati Goklibai Punam Chin Pitambar High School. And I used to tell them, I am from Saint Gogs, right? Just make the kid up. And it was. They thought it's a very. But then I did my BSc in statistics,
Hmm.
bachelor's in science in statistics, and yeah, that's a little background about me, about how my small of schooling and college and everything. Although
Hmm.
again, a very interesting part of it
Hmm.
was like I actually flunked on statistics. Like when you after your 12th, you are supposed to take
Hmm.
few examination,
Hmm.
and we were supposed to take physics, math, and statistics, and I flunked in statistics in the first year, but I majored in statistics. So
Hmm.
that's a lesson for me as well. When you are failed in one subject, does not mean you are a failure. You just make it as your strength. And I did my major in statistics. So yeah, that's an
Hmm.
interesting journey.
Yeah. 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 So so how did you sort of, then when you got introduced to stock markets, was it was it that you directly started as a full time trader, or how was what was your starting journey in trading?
So yeah, I was not new to trading. Actually, my father used to be a stockbroker for Bombay Stock Exchange, and I always had an exposure to the stock market. I've seen him going to the ring and trading it. So it was never something alien to me. I
Hmm.
knew that I wanted to do something, but once there was a day where I had to make a decision
Hmm.
that after your career you make a decision where you want to go, and I did all these courses from Bombay Stock Exchange
Hmm.
building, which is like BSc Training Institute, like all the stock, capital market, stock market, debt market, derivative market. So whatever the
Hmm.
knowledge I wanted to gather, I kept there. I was
Hmm.
a pretty decent cricketer as well, so I wanted to play. I used to play for my college
Hmm.
and wanted to get into cricketing career. And then I was also good at DJing, like music and everything was my passion. So
Hmm.
one night I was sitting on a table with all my certificate of my what do you call it, like education in the stock market, the cricketing certificates and the DJing certificate, and I had to make a choice where would I want to move my career. And
Hmm.
luckily my father being a broker, I always kind of said, okay, it will be a giving me a very good easy runway over there, although it was not. But yeah, I
Hmm.
took that leap of faith, joined
Hmm.
a company called Spider Software,
Hmm.
which is into technical analysis software. And
Hmm.
I remember I was their first marketing person to, kind of promote the technical analysis. And that
Hmm.
was the beginning of my career.
Hmm.
Did my BSc, MSc in finance. My good friend Sujay is, I think, she's on the call. And
Hmm.
we studied my MS finance from Hyderabad.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, that's how I started my a small journey into um, the financial world or technical analysis world.
Hmm. Hmm. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. So, Vishal, you have sort of interacted with, a whole lot of people, traders, all kinds of traders in your journey. What, if I may ask you, is some of the common qualities you found among successful traders?
So let me just change the question around Gordon, because finding a successful trader is very difficult.
Hmm.
Okay, most of us, including me, I started when I started out my journey, I was a failure trader. And what were the characteristics that I observed in many of the failing traders? First, lack of capital.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
a lot of traders jumped into trading because they think it's a quick rich scheme, including me.
Hmm.
Um, and it was not the case, because a good friend of mine, Madan, he always keeps on telling me that this is called capital market.
Hmm.
Okay, for
Hmm.
a reason, capital market. So
Hmm.
you need capital,
Hmm. Hmm.
because when you have a very less capital, what
Hmm.
happens is you keep on jumping your system,
Hmm.
because once you make a loss, you think something else is doing well.
Hmm.
Uh, I think it's a little bit of background noise coming, Gordon. Sorry. Yeah,
Uh,
perfect.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, first was the inadequate capital. Secondly, lack of knowledge and sticking to a system.
Hmm.
Because they will do Bollinger Band today, they will do RSI MACD tomorrow, and always thought that one holy grail is there that need to find,
Hmm.
and that is the search of it. And so now turning back to your question, I think the qualities I talked about, the inadequate capital, not sticking to a positive system for a while, and the psychology. These are the three components that I felt was really missing for all the traders. But some of the good professional traders who have been making money out of this market, what I realized, very one important thing, that they believe that they can make money in the market. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
their belief system was very strong, because people will always relate to them as speculator, gamblers, and everything. But somewhere they had a firm belief that they can make money from the market. They stick to their systems when they are in drawdowns. They knew what they are doing, and I think so. The capital, whatever was missing for a trader that they are losing, was
Hmm.
actually kind of an advantage to the professional trader.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah, get it, get it. So,
Yeah.
one question related to this, Vishal. So, you know, uh, there is a lot of debate on, there is various styles of tradings. Some do futures, some do option. What has been your forte? Have you primarily been an option trader, and within that, more of a buyer, a seller, or you have dabbled into, or you have done sort of all types of trading, whether it is future, stock futures, index futures, and I mean, just a little bit about your style of trading.
So you can think under this sun, the style, I have done that. Okay, and that was my initial journey. So it took me a good 10-15 years to become consistently profitable trader, to be honest. Like I started my journey in 2002, just passed out of the college. My first trade I put it out, okay, in 2002. Now we are sitting in 2022. And I have no, kind of regret of openly accepting everywhere that I have been a field, like, made money, lost money, made money, lost money for the first initial 15 years. It's just that this last 5 years that I've realized what are the secret ingredients of a successful trader. And then it really helped me. But just to tell you about what I started out as a news, like, whatever somebody was telling me, like every retail trader, like somebody tells me, कि ये अच्छा लग रहा है तो buy कर लिया and all that. Then I moved to technical analysis. I was predominantly a discretionary trend following trader. I had a little bit of success. I did my lot of big punts, to say, on trend following. I did, kind of mean reversions and everything. But I think so in the last 5 years, I've turned completely systematic trader. What do I mean by that? I have completely, decided my rules. I have made rules for everything that I do. Like, I was at one of the conference and where one of the speaker told, and it is a famous line by a legendary trader called as Ed Psychota. Okay, he says that one of the primary rules that you follow your rule without a question, and then there is another rule that he says you need to know when to break the rules.
Yeah.
These are two completely different, kind of statements. Like you follow your rules without a question, and you need to know when to stop following your rules. So, we have kind of built ourselves also when not to follow our rules, but it is still a systematic.
Right.
So, and that's where I have been kind of mainly focusing on for the last 5 years, and that's where my profitability started kicking in. And I've been a predominantly an option seller. That's what, kind of comforts me. Small gains every day just to make sure that I earn money out of it. So I'm a predominantly systematic option seller.
Got it. Got it. I agree with you that, see, the kind of I mean, if someone really wants to have a fairly smoother, linear equity curve, I think option selling, there is nothing like option selling, when it comes to that. Trend following, I mean, whether it is futures, or option buying, I mean, that is susceptible to fairly bigger drawdowns. And of course, the gains can also be outsized. But I think I agree with you that, when, if someone really wants sort of a fairly assured routine, kind of income, I think option selling is the best mode.
That is
Yeah.
true, and but I'll just have a very one, kind of concept that may open up a lot of eyes. Like, I kind of taught to myself that even I'm a trend follower, okay, when I'm doing an option selling, because all the options tend to zero, and they are
Yes.
trend following till zero.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if
Yes.
you start building your strategies, and we have
Yeah.
tested enough sample and enough data to kind of prove that you have to keep your options till the expiry till it becomes zero, because that's where the trend following, obviously in trend following upside is unlimited, but your option tend to trend towards zero every day. It is trending towards zero. So if you're a trend follower, then it makes sense. But having said that, my highest regard, because I can see Darshan by Vijay Tagore and few of my friends who are a brilliant and exceptional discretionary trader. But the point to your question is, you need to decide what you are comfortable with. I was never comfortable with, kind of drawdowns. I try to keep my losses minimalistic, and just try to eat like sparrow and shit like elephant. Let's start.
Right. Right. I get it. Yeah. So, Got it. I think I think those are some of the basic questions I had just to know you, Vishal. So what we'll do is we will sort of open this up for the audience round, and in case people have any questions, we sort of will let people ask. Uh, so I have one, Aditya. I think yeah. Hi, Aditya.
Aditya, hi Aditya, how are you? Aditya Trivedi, by any chance?
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
He's someone different. Yeah, Aditya, you want to go ahead? Ask a question.
Hey, my name is Adi, and my question is to Vishal. If someone has to master the technical analysis, what would you recommend?
Brilliant question, Adi. So, I'm a chartered market technician, and very interestingly, like we can always learn technical analysis from YouTube or by reading a book or maybe attending someone's seminar. But when I did my chartered market technician, it gave me a holistic approach of what is technical analysis. It's just not support and resistance. It's not just trend lines. It's just not moving average crossovers or RSI over whatever. So it is so much more than that. Like I was in New York 3 weeks back attending a New York symposium of CMT, and they did not talk about support and resistance. They did not talk about moving averages. All they talked about money flow. All they talked about cycles. All they talked about how the intermarket analysis work, and that's where the real benefit of technical analysis comes in. So I would suggest doing a CMT course. Would definitely put you on a winning ground to understand what is technical analysis.
Okay, when I was researching the CMTE, most of this were offered out of United States. Is there something similar that we can do in India? I know there
So
are some NISM certificates around, but what would be a suggestion for someone who needs to do it in India?
So TMT, you can do it in India as well. Adi. You have to just, the examination happens in Mumbai and various other centers. So you can just pay the, kind of fees, the examination fees, and it's in completely correspondence course. But when you read through this book, it will give you a structured way of approaching to technical analysis.
All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Adi.
Yeah. So Vishal, like while others will come up for questions, I have actually a couple of questions which I would like to sort of ask you. Two things. One, there are often as we talk about there are three essential sort of pillars, right, to trading or investing success. One is your strategy per se. Second thing is your risk management, money management, those aspects, and third comes your overall mindset, your psychology, or overall mental makeup.
Mhm.
What is if let's say you were to allocate 100% within these three buckets, what would be your allocation?
I keep on asking this question to everyone, and this is the karma coming back to me, and you asking me the same question.
Uh,
Uh, so when I started my journey,
hmm,
I thought 80% was trading system, 10% is psychology, and
hmm,
10% is money management when I started my journey. Okay.
hmm, hmm,
Now, if you ask me, I completely turned that around, and I would
hmm,
say it is almost 60%. Okay.
hmm, hmm,
Psychology, 30% risk management and money management, and
hmm,
10% trading entries and exits that we all strive for, that holy grail.
hmm,
Having
hmm,
said that, having
hmm,
said that, that does not mean the trading system and is important. You need to have a positive expectancy system,
hmm,
without which your money management and psychology is of no use,
hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm,
The problem is once you have a positive expectancy system,
hmm,
you will have a drawdown.
hmm,
Okay, be it
hmm,
any strategy, you will have a drawdown.
hmm,
But to stick to your strategy in that drawdown requires your psychology,
hmm,
and where your psychology will remain in place when you have a money management in place according to your style of trading.
hmm, hmm,
So, like, just for like, I would say any trading system I have backtested enough number of backtested
hmm,
systems. For a mean reversion trading strategy, the accuracy would go between 60 to 70%,
hmm,
and for a trend following system, it will go between 30 to somewhere around 50. I will
Hmm.
never have an 80% trend accurate trend following system. That's a scam.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
mota moti, you are always, if you have a positive expectancy system, you need to know what is your system, and
Hmm.
you to have that system working in a drawdown. You need to
Hmm.
have your psychology, and psychology will be in place when you have money management intact.
Yeah. 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 So recently, I mean, not very recently, maybe a couple of months ago, Nitin Kamath of Zerodha had put the tweet out saying that less than 5% of the people beat FDs, right? What
Mhm.
is, having interacted with so many traders yourself, do you feel that statement is correct? And what's your take on that particular statement?
Maybe when a billionaire who has the biggest number of accounts
Hmm.
said this, then I have to believe him. And I think so. Maybe I was also part of that 5% group for a while. And just for fun, I have my Zerodha account where I do all my discretionary trading. Whenever
Hmm.
I have a tool of maybe developing a system or thinking of some ideas,
Hmm.
okay, I
Hmm.
keep my major accounts are IFL and Fires and few other brokers. But
Hmm.
my discretionary trading happens in zero, then I always lose money in zero the account. So maybe
Hmm.
my number is also added into that. But
Hmm.
jokes apart, yes, I would not say that 5%. It will be more than like 10% of the people who would not. And see, what happens is for the traders, the execution cost
Hmm.
takes away a lot of profit. So if you just remove the execution cost, the numbers will be much higher.
Hmm. Hmm.
But we as a trader
Hmm.
will be churning a lot,
Hmm.
okay?
Hmm.
And to become consistently profitable trader,
Hmm.
you are going up against lot many things. You are going against your market direction.
Hmm.
Not only that, you are going against the regulatory fees. You
Hmm.
are going against brokerages. So you have
Hmm.
to, you have to going against STT and government charges. So basically, it's not a zero sum game. You're
Hmm.
trying to win a negative sum game.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that is
Hmm.
the precise reason why a lot of traders are not able to make profitable, because you can become profitable on a gross basis.
Hmm. Hmm.
But to remain sustain, profitable, you will trade more. The more
Hmm.
you trade, more the transaction cost will creep in, and then net you are still not able to beat the FD returns.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Right. So, Vishal, with recently, I mean, in the last 1 year, of course, margins have been, squeezed out by SEBI, right? There was a time when we used to get 4 times, even, much more margins. But now, of course, gradually they have brought it down to 1 time. That that per se, and secondly, also I've read a lot of tweets from different people where they have said that uh, with the advent of algos making more and more inroads into our overall markets. Do you think the structure of the markets has changed because of these two factors, and has it become like have the markets become more volatile, more you know unpredictable? I mean, I'm just wanting your general observation. You have been now trading for the last 20 years. Have you seen any particular difference in the market that we have in the last year or 6 months as compared to earlier, or you don't think that is the case?
So let me just answer this question into two parts. First, regarding your margin thing.
Hmm.
Honestly, I was furious
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
angry when the announcement came that they are going to take out a leverage out, and we
Hmm.
thought that our my business is going to shut down.
Hmm.
Okay, because
Hmm.
we always believed, although we are a smart traders, but let's be realistic. A lot of our money comes from leverage. When I say
Hmm.
leverage, it's like you could have sold and bank nifty option with 30,000.
Hmm.
Now I need to pay say around if I'm going to do a straddle in a bank nifty, I need to pay around 1.5 lakh, which I could
Hmm.
have easily done at 45, 50, right? Three
Hmm.
times.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Hmm.
gone up. And I
Hmm. Hmm.
thought when SEBI is bringing this regulation, the liquidity will dry off. Half of the
Hmm.
liquidity will go off,
Hmm. Hmm.
and to my surprise, it increased.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
definitely that was not the reason for the volatility.
Hmm.
Now coming to the algo, yes, to a certain level, the market has little become volatile, but when did market was not volatile? Like
Hmm.
market has been volatile, will remain volatile in the future as well. Yes,
Hmm.
what you can see is general spikes on a specific time period, like our favorite 9:20, 3 o'clock, 2:30. So
Hmm.
what you have to understand is a lot of algos are now aligned because when retail traders develop their algos, they
Hmm.
put it near the round numbers, like
Hmm.
9:25, first 5 minutes, let the market settle down. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
then you have a immediate like 1 hour before the expiry or something like that when the real theta decay kicks in,
Hmm.
2:30, three
Hmm.
o'clock where the price discovery of futures starts happening.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so these are the round period where all the technical analysis charts, all the
Hmm.
option trading related algos are
Hmm.
all aligning to those time periods.
Hmm.
And what you will see is there are a lot of liquidity coming and getting sucked out or
Hmm.
spikes on both the direction
Hmm.
on those time frames.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's how it should be and it will be in the future. So you just become a little smart and you
Hmm.
need to understand how this game is played.
Hmm. 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 Right. Since you are primarily an option seller, Vishal, while you gave your take on what are some of the sort of what should I say, some of the things that do's and don'ts that a trader should keep in mind, but specifically for an option seller, and majority of those listening in are option sellers here, including myself. I also do option selling a little bit. So what is the specifically for an option seller? Is there something which you would like to suggest as do's and don'ts?
No, I think that every one of us knows what to do.
Hmm,
It's like this, right? There is a famous dialogue by Mike Tyson.
hmm. Hello.
Shut down, and all your stop losses are taken out. And that time
Hmm,
you realize, oh shit, I did not prepare for it.
hmm,
So
hmm,
the only way we work very simply, like one of a very famous option seller to kind of spoken many times, but I don't idealize him. But he said something
hmm,
is have an edge and have your hedge, right? And I think
hmm,
that these are the two important things
hmm,
that as an option seller that you need to keep it.
hmm,
What I would also want to kind of keep in mind that we have backtested enough systems and we have realized
hmm,
that in option selling, the better is the longer you stay with your
hmm,
options because a lot of people keep on trying to book profits.
hmm,
It
hmm,
works beautifully in a short term,
hmm,
but like as I told you, that options are also trend following in nature because they're
hmm,
trending towards zero. So
hmm,
it's a better to wait till the end till it becomes zero or almost zero.
hmm,
Okay.
hmm,
But besides that, just hedge your positions because none of our orders, and
hmm,
one of my colleague Kapil is on the call, and we remember, and he must be smiling right now. One
hmm,
fine day, there was a little because some of the large accounts we also have a bit of manual, for the overnight positions.
hmm,
We have something like an overnight thing, and one of my account had what you call it by mistake, and kind of put unsold remained,
hmm,
and we
hmm.
could not sleep in the night.
Oh.
Okay,
Hmm,
but the idea is like you need to hedge your overnight position because it's like this, you know, छह गोली डाल दी revolver में and there is only
hmm,
मतलब छह slot एक ही गोली थी and then
hmm,
you revolve the gun and
hmm,
kind of put it on your head and keep on doing it this every day. You are just
hmm.
waiting for that one day. So as
Yes.
an option seller,
Hmm,
or even for that matter, futures,
hmm,
for the overnight, I don't know.
hmm,
Just hedge your position.
hmm, hmm. Got it. So there is a question which has come from Chetan. Unfortunately, I'm trying to add him, but he's getting removed again and again. I don't know, some technical issue. So he has typed it out on DM. His
Sure.
question is that when should a trader sort of increase his position size? Suppose he starts trading, he does a back test, he has got a system, let's say, and he starts with how should, first of all, maybe I'll try to rephrase the question a little bit. How should he start his initial position sizing, and then what would be your advice as to how he should scale it up?
Brilliant question, and we keep on asking this question to ourselves all the time. Okay, and there could be a lot of people who can give you a statistical answer, but we still go by the kind of hunch feel for the market because, as I told you, the risk management
Hmm.
or the money management and the psychology goes hand in hand.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when you start with a new strategy, always start with one or few lots where you are comfortable that
Hmm.
whatever the loss may come, you
Hmm.
still are able to withstand them and keep it very minimalistic to just to iron out your processes.
Hmm.
And there is a very famous saying in US Navy SEAL that
Hmm.
slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Hmm.
Think about that. Okay,
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
always believe that we want to scale up as much fast as possible, put out
Hmm.
all those nice looking screenshots, but the
Hmm.
point is we have to kind of go slow in the beginning
Hmm.
and just pay your dues, get acquainted with your psychology and the system as
Hmm.
much as possible. So go
Hmm.
slow, and
Hmm.
because slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and
Hmm.
after a point of time your processes are set,
Hmm.
then you keep on challenging yourself with a little higher amount. And the
Hmm.
minute you decide, like you started with say 10 lots and then you go to 15 lots,
Hmm.
and then you have a drawdown.
Hmm.
If you can withstand that drawdown, stay with 15 lots. Don't reduce it just because you are getting little pain.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
What you need to do is stay in that game for a while, get comfortable with those M to M swings, then move to 30 lots.
Hmm.
Okay? So
Hmm.
there is no secret science of yeah, obviously there are a lot of traders who can help you with this science, but
Hmm.
we believe in art. So we increase our position sizes depending on how comfortable are we okay with the M to M swings.
Hmm.
Because there were times where we used to get bogged down by 10,000 also, and there are days now we are like, even we are moving 30, 40 lakhs in a day, we don't get
Hmm.
bogged down because
Hmm.
our psychology has started working with it.
Hmm. 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 Got it. Got it. So, Vishal, one question. So, as if I, and again, if you don't want to disclose, that's perfectly fine. But what is the overall capital size that you're trading with right now? If you, and again, if you don't want to disclose, that's perfect.
And so let's park that out because I don't believe in M2Ms and I don't believe in the numbers because nobody knows,
Okay.
put it out. But yeah,
Ha,
it is
nahi.
a decent size. People who are hearing, I can see a lot of people. They know what is my trading size, so that's perfectly fine for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. The reason, okay, no, perfectly fine. The only reason I wanted to ask that was for a decent size of capital like yours, what is typically the rate of return per month?
Yeah.
Again, one should be happy with, because see, people in Fintuit especially, we see people wanting 5% every month, 10% every month, or something like that. Someone, a mature trader like you, what do you believe is a
Mm.
reasonable return on capital?
So
That
I
one.
can I can give you our numbers. So last year we did about 32%.
Hmm.
Prior to that we did about 38%.
Hmm.
Um, we this year, like we are targeting to somewhere around. We don't target, obviously the market
Hmm.
gives what it gives, but
Yes, yes.
for us, anything between 25 to 35% return consistently, and that's where I'm putting a lot of emphasis right now.
Hmm.
Consistency in the return.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's what we strive for. We don't go for out of the park numbers
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I don't put out my screenshots because people will not get excited because we just make small money every day.
Yeah.
Although in the absolute term it would be pretty large,
Yeah.
but we are happy with the small percentage, and we target about 25 to 35% return.
Got it. Got it. No, actually, that is very. That's quite an underrated, actually. Thing. People don't appreciate, but consistently getting 2 to 3% per month, or 25 to 30% per month, per annum, is something, is something which people feel that it's अरे क्या बड़ी बात है, but that's really something is quite underrated in.
So
Uh,
I agree with you, Gordon, but you have to think of this like the people who trade, right? And they
hmm,
know that, okay, we want to compound, okay?
hmm,
And
hmm,
assuming you are running at a book of 5%, and people do make it, I'm not against it, and I'm I have my friends who are making brilliant amount of money, like 200% as well. But when it comes to scale up, they can't. Well, I'll tell you. Okay, if I put 100% and no return comes risk free, right? You will take somewhere around 30 to 40% of drawdown. Now imagine you are going up 100% and increasing your allocation, and you hit a drawdown of 50%. You're again back to square zero. Okay, but if I'm making consistently money and I know my drawdowns is very limited to 2, 3, 4%, even in drawdowns, in fact, we increase our capital because we know that it is actually an opportunity for us to come and deploy our money when the drawdown is there. Because once the drawdown is completed, we will have a double speed of reaching a new equity high.
Yeah.
Because we believe in consistency and a low risk model. Yeah.
Got it. There is a question from Akash. Akash, you want to ask?
Yes, sir. Vishal sir, love from the Gujarat. My question is that what is the best indicator which is used by you? I have saw your video with the Vivek Budget. You talk about the super trend, and I confuse about the super trend and the VWAP. Which one suits best for the intraday momentum?
A brilliant question. I think so. There is to be my friend. I think the Vijay is kind of left, but the best indicator for intraday or anything for that matter, first I would give an importance to the price because everything is derivative of price. But I'm still a indicator trader, so I would say combination of RSI and super trend is what I have been trying to work on because you have to always understand. Okay, there are three-dimensional movie going on right now.
Yes,
There is price or the momentum, okay? Then there is volatility and there is volume. Price, volatility, and volume. If you are going to put RSS, stochastic, if you are going to put CCI and MACD and everything is giving you buy, you jump in, but then you are making biggest mistake because all of them are deriving their values from price. But if you have a combination of volatility like a Bollinger Band or a super trend, and if you have a momentum indicator like an RSI, I don't use volume because I'm not a good reader of a volume price action. Just a big spikes in the volume, that's what I understand. But I think so, kind of volatility and momentum plays out pretty well. So maybe RSI and super trend would be my two favorite indicators.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Akash.
Vishal, again a question for me. So, of course, we talked about your trading and how you do your options, selling and all that. But do you also are you also a avid investor, or you primarily you do only trading?
So I do kind of investments, but trust me, I'm a very, very bad investor. Okay. So I keep on buying only 3, 4 stocks that I've been doing, and I have a very unique philosophy of investing into stocks. I try to buy duopoly or kind of a monopoly business, like CDSL is a duopoly business. IRCTC is a kind of monopoly business. And you can call it like I've started to buy LIC. I know it's going down. So that's where I do kind of investment. But yeah, for swing trading, like, buying short term, like Rajashishra is there and she's like brilliant when picking up the stocks from a chart breakouts and everything. So yeah, we do, I do time to time, but till the stock market is below 200-day moving average, the momentum investing is out of the window. It's purely, mostly, it's like, keep on buying on every day, these 3, 4 stocks like Tata Power, I believe in EV story. So as I told you, like people should not follow me when it comes to advice for investment. But yeah, this is what I believe that monopoly or duopoly business will sustain for a while in the future.
Got it. Just hold on. There is one more request. Neeraj Singh. Neeraj, you want to ask a question?
Hi Vishal sir, here is Neeraj.
You can call me Vishal, that's okay. Go ahead.
So my question is, suppose you got the direction. So when you are going for trade, are you prefer to go with a strategy or naked?
So we actually, when we pick up a direction, we actually don't pick up a direction. Our system does pick up the direction. Okay. So just to give you, like, are you talking about stocks? Are you talking about options?
Options,
So maybe
options, sir.
Neeraj, if you
Options.
options. So options may we do not have anything, doing discretionary. We are all purely system based. So we have actually inbuilt in our algos that the indicator picks up the direction, and when it triggers, we always hedge our position. Always have a position, because what happens is um, that when the market goes for a directional, obviously when there is a big move happening, like we are trading Nifty and Bank Nifty, but remember what happened on the exchange, because I'm just worried about that one big day where you had all the stop losses in the exchanges, and exchanges, kind of removed all the stop losses, and we had a wild move at around 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And interestingly, and luckily, I would say, we were not trading on that day because it was a Tuesday, I remember very categorically, and we mainly trade predominantly on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So to answer your question quickly, yes, we do always hedge, even on intraday.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Neeraj.
Anuranjan, you have a question.
हेलो सर, मेरा ऑप्शन बाइंग में सर काफी थोड़ा सा लॉस हो गया है, क्योंकि मैं ओआई डाटा और एवीवैप और 20 डे मूविंग एवरेज को करके करता था। लेकिन क्या होता है कि 2 दिन से मार्केट कभी रुक जाता है अगर प्राइस एक्शन बनाता है तो, और जब चलना रहता है कभी कभी अचानक मूव हो जाता है, तो उसमें थोड़ा लॉस हो रहा है।
सही बात है। तो उसको कैसे बचाया जाए,
मतलब
आपका क्वेश्चन क्या है?
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि सर, इतना पढ़ाई करने के बाद भी कभी कभी ऑप्शन बाइंग करते हैं तो क्या होता है कि रुक जाता है प्राइस। जब रुक जाता है तो कहीं मूव ही नहीं करता है। जैसे 2 दिन से आप देख रहे हैं कि लास्ट में जाके मार्केट मतलब रुक जाता था।
सर ऑप्शन, अब जब भी ऑप्शन बायर होते हो ना, तो उसका एक सिंपल सा हिसाब लगाना है, क्विक इन क्विक आउट। ओके, उसका सिंपल सा आंसर मैं आपको एक एनालॉजी देना चाहता हूँ, और मैंने शायद वो विवेक बजाज जी के इंटरव्यू में भी दिखाया था कि दुनिया का सबसे फास्टेस्ट एनिमल कौन सा है? रंजन, चीता, राइट? आई थिंक सो यू मूड आउट। सो चीता इज द फास्टेस्ट एनिमल, लेकिन वो सबसे फास्टेस्ट डियर के पीछे भागता है? नहीं, इट इज वेटिंग फॉर द वीकेस्ट डियर। ठीक है, सिमिलरली अगर आप ऑप्शन बाइंग में कर रहे हो, क्योंकि आपको मेनली डेल्टा और वेगा खेलना है, वॉलेटिलिटी स्पाइक खेलनी है। डेल्टा तो एक बार आ जाता है, लेकिन अगर वॉलेटिलिटी स्पाइक आके रुक गया तो आपका थीटा डीके चालू हो जाएगा। तो यू आर यूजिंग ऑप्शन बाइंग एज अ स्टॉक बाइंग, नेवर डू दैट। ओके, यू शुड बी, यू आर ट्रीटिंग, जो आपके जो स्टॉक में कैसे करते हो, आप खरीद लेते हो और फिर उसको रखते हो, और अगर वो साइडवेज रहा तो भी आपका पैसा नुकसान नहीं होता है। लेकिन ऑप्शन बाइंग में अगर मार्केट रुक गया, और स्पेशली ऑन वेडनेसडे एंड थर्सडे, एंड स्पेशली ऑन थर्सडे आफ्टर 2 o'clock, आप कुछ भी कर लो, धीरे धीरे पैसा उल्टा ही जाएगा। तो आपको निकल ही जाना है। अगर आपकी, और बहुत सारी आप इंडिकेटर, जैसे कि पैराबोलिक स्टार करके एक इंडिकेटर है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे आप एंट्री लेते हो तो वो प्राइस जैसे जैसे आपकी फेवर में चलता है, वो आपके साथ आपका स्टॉप लॉस बढ़ाते रहता है। लेकिन अगर आपका प्राइस रुक गया, फिर भी वो रुकता नहीं है, वो भी बढ़ते रहता है फिर भी टाइम के साथ। तो वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आपका एक रिवर्सल आ जाएगा, बस अभी ये टाइम नहीं हो रहा है तेरा, निकल जा। So you get out of that.
Yeah, right. Rajinder Singh.
Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask you, strategies like 920 straddle and Penny strangle. How do you trade that? And if yes, then how much capital do you deploy on strategies like this, which are like used by majority of the people?
Okay, so let me just answer. No, thanks a lot. So let me answer this question. I always make fun of. I've been, getting this asked question कि भाई 920 करते हो कि नहीं करते हो. So I believe there are 3 kinds of people who do 920 straddle and accept that they do 920 straddle. There are people who doesn't know what is a 920 straddle, and then there are third category of people which I find it very amusing. मुझे थोड़ा funny भी लगता है कि they do 920 straddle, लेकिन दुनिया को नहीं बोलना है कि मैं 920 करता हूँ, वरना तो मैं बहुत immature लगूंगा. So I fall to the first category where I do 920 straddles and I accept that I do 920 straddles. what kind of a capital do we run? So obviously, as I told you, I don't want to work on that. मैं बहुत छोटा trader हूँ, so just pardon my capital. I don't know, but our capital का around 20% goes to 920 straddles, or the variations of 920 straddles. 20-30% of our capital goes in the early morning.
Vishal, I'm tempted to ask a question here since we are on the issue of 920 straddle. What is, are you like, and I assume you're doing it every day. So with a, as you said,
No, so that's the wrong assumption.
Acha, okay.
Sorry, go ahead with your question. I only do
No, no.
Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, right. Okay, thanks. So Wednesdays and Thursdays you do 920, but what has been your experience even in this recent period with this high volatility? Is it still sort of performing up to the expectations, or is there any difference?
So April got us butchered in April we were down by 4%, and we did not change our strategy. And May we clocked about 8.83%.
Okay.
This month we were up by 2%, but today was a fantastic day for us. Gave it back all to the market back, so we are flat for this month.
Okay, got it. Sorry for my intervention. Rohit,
No, go ahead.
Rohit, go ahead, ask a question.
Hello, Vishal sir.
बोलिए रोहित जी.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have listened a lot of time about indicators and this and that. In between the two terms primarily came, one is demand supply and other is price action. What would you say about that?
So I actually, don't have an exact, and because I'm not an expert in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you would have given me an option, I would stick to price action. Because price action also changes the demand and supply. Because why I don't look at OI? Because I started looking at OI, or I started looking at the volumes at the support and the volume at the resistance. But what happens is when the price action starts working, the demand and supply keeps on changing. Okay, the OI, अगर हम लोग देख रहे OI बहुत build-up हो गया है, there is a huge OI on a certain strike prices, and the minute the market starts reaching those strike OI, और वो basis पे हम लोग ने अगर अपने call बेचे होते, then all of a sudden we are seeing it's like very very funny way. Okay, I remember जावेद जाफरी का एक movie था टोटल धमाल और एनीथिंग. तो सब लोग मतलब किसी ने कुछ तो मस्ती की, चारों चार लाइन में थे, ठीक है. ऑल ऑफ अ सडन जिनके साथ मस्ती की थे कोई बॉडी बिल्डर था, और उसने देखा तो बाकी के 3 दोस्त उसके पीछे चले गए. जावेद जाफरी आगे रह गया. Similarly in OI, it's like this: you sell looking at where is the highest OI and you sell your options, and all of a sudden you realize when the price is moving towards that strike prices, लोगों ने तो OI को मतलब अपनी स्ट्राइक को मूव कर लिया ऊपर से. ऑल ऑफ अ सडन आपकी खाली पोजीशन खड़ी है और OI कहीं और शिफ्ट हो चुका है. So I believe in price action more than the OI, but I don't honestly trade on both of them.
Yeah, got it. Konar?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Konar.
I just want to ask that if we backtest strategy and to get some parameter like stop loss and target percentage and find a good equity curve, but the stop loss percentage, suppose the stop loss is the value in absolute term is beyond our 2% of capital, but the strategy overall maybe look good with respect to the equity curve and other parameters like max drawdown and max loss. So is it a good system that better than more than 2% of capital stop loss?
No, increase your capital till you afford into 2% of your capital. Increase your capital to reach to that maximum 2% of your capital, because we have backtested many systems and discarded many systems. What looks beautiful in the backtest, and I always tell everyone, I have never found a bad backtest result. Okay, the backtest results are always good, including one of my favorite strategy also, which we taught and failed miserably in the real world. So yeah, never found bad backtest results. So increase your capital till you can afford into 2% of your capital, and then trade it. And I know it is easier said than done, क्योंकि मैं भी ट्रेडर हूँ, क्योंकि मैं कैपिटल बढ़ाने नहीं बैठूंगा, लेकिन that differentiate from a good trader and a bad trader.
Yeah. Sagar?
हेलो विशाल जी, गुड इवनिंग.
गुड इवनिंग सागर.
सर मैं ये पूछा, मतलब मेरा ये डाउट था कि जैसे कि मैंने अपना सिस्टम बनाया हुआ है और उससे मैं काफ़ी अच्छे रिजल्ट्स आ रहे हैं, बट मेरे साथ कई बार क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है कि जैसे थोड़ी देर तक, कुछ टाइम तक सिस्टम ट्रेड नहीं देता, तो भी मैं ट्रेड ले लेता हूँ वो. तो उस चीज़ पे कैसे थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव या वर्क ऑन करा जाए कि किस तरीके से कमांड और अच्छी हो जाए या फिर अवॉइड करा जाए.
नहीं, आई थिंक तो आपने बहुत बढ़िया क्वेश्चन पूछा सागर जी. सागर जी, आप ऑटोमेटेड करते हो या मैन्युअली करते हो?
सर मैं
हाँ, तो उसका सॉल्यूशन मैं आपको कैसे दूं, मुझे भी नहीं पता है. इट इज विथ एक्सपीरियंस दैट यू विल गेट इट. मतलब द बेस्ट आंसर आई कैन डू इज ऑटोमेट योर स्ट्रेटेजी. ठीक है, क्योंकि मैंने जब से ऑटोमेशन किया है मेरी स्ट्रेटेजीज का, बिकॉज जब भी मैं खुद डिस्क्रिशनरी करता था तो मुझे भी जो ये बढ़ते थे, कैंडल ऊपर नीचे होती थी, तो मुझे भी हमेशा लेफ्ट आउट होता था. जिस दिन मैंने फुली ऑटोमेटेड चला गया मैं, तो उस दिन से वो जो लैक ऑफ अ बेटर वर्ड खुजली थी, वो धीरे धीरे कम होने लगी. क्योंकि मुझे पता है मैं कुछ भी करूंगा तो ये 9:30 को तो ऑर्डर मारने वाला है, ये 9:20 को मारने वाला है, 10:30 को मारने ही वाला है. तो आई हैव टू डू इट. And I started telling my mind, धीरे धीरे मैं I have to started train my mind कि do I need to be, there is a differentiation between a business owner and a professional. Okay. मैंने रिच डैड पुअर डैड की बुक पढ़ी थी कि अगर आपका काम अगर एक सिस्टम से हो रहा है, प्रोसेस से हो रहा है, और आप उसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो, तो आपके प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस ज्यादा हो जाती है. एटलीस्ट इन ट्रेडिंग आई वुड कॉल इट. आपने एक रूल्स बनाए, उनको बैक टेस्ट किया, प्रॉफिटेबल स्ट्रेटेजी है, तो उसको ऑटोमेट करना ही चाहिए. आई डोंट सी एनी रीजन व्हाई यू शुड नॉट ऑटोमेट इट. हाँ, अगर खर्चा है, आप बोलो कि मेरा कैपिटल जस्टिफाई नहीं करता, देन यू हैव टू कम टू अ लेवल वेयर इट स्टार्ट मेकिंग जस्टिफिकेशन.
Yes, correct. Prabjot?
Hey, hi Vishal. Just wanted to check if you target some certain risk reward before entering into a trade.
So we don't target. We actually, when we have developed our system, okay, we don't go trade by trade. We actually go through something called as the risk matrix of a Kalmar and a correlation. What do I mean by that is basically I am looking for, say, a Kalmar. What is kind of put it into very layman term, is how much return I am generating with kind of a risk, but not on an individual basis, but on large number of trades traded from 2017 in Bank Nifty, 2019 traded from Nifty, and what is the different kind of market scenario on which that system worked and on which kind of scenario the system did not work, and the scenarios on which the system did not perform, what kind of other system did actually work. Okay, and then try to combine them together to have a low correlation in our portfolio of bouquet of strategy, and that pushes our returns little higher.
Yes, got it. Sakib?
Hi, Vishal.
Hi, Sakib.
Hi. I have a question. It may sound dumb to you, but the question is I have heard a lot of time people saying that you need to have a system. I need to understand what exactly do you mean by a system, because what currently I am doing is if I see a market sideways, I sell straddle strangles. If I see it's being trending, then I go directional. So I'm not able to understand this terminology. You need to have a system. So could you please help on that?
So first of all, Sakib, never ask a question saying that it's a dumb question, because questions are never dumb. Questions are questions. We make them dumb by saying it dumb. Okay, so that's my request to you, and it's a genuine question. Okay, Sakib. So what is a system? System is nothing but a set of rules with risk management inbuilt. What do I mean by that? Is basically when to enter, when to exit, and what is my risk management. And if you say that, if the market is going up, then I go long. Obviously, you are not going to go long just wheels and fences. You are looking at something. Okay, either you are looking at price or you are looking at the resistance or something like that. So it's a system. The system is nothing but a specific rules of when to enter, when to exit, when to trail your stop loss, when to book your profit, and what is the amount of money that you should put in that trade, and how much capital should be allocated to that trade. And that's the system.
Right. Right. Tejas? I think Tejas has dropped off. Turtle Trader?
हाय विशाल।
Hi.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि कोई स्मॉल ट्रेडर है जो मार्केट में आता है, अगर उसे एल्गो ट्रेडिंग के थ्रू सेटअप के थ्रू अगर ट्रेडिंग करनी है तो उसे कितने कैपिटल की रिक्वायरमेंट होनी चाहिए, और क्या वो ऑप्शन सेलिंग सिर्फ एल्गो के थ्रू करना चाहिए, या फिर ऑप्शन बाइंग भी हम एल्गो के थ्रू, या फिर स्कैल्पिंग वगैरह भी हम एल्गो के थ्रू कर दें?
So Pratik, I can see you are an option buyer, you are a price action trader.
Yeah.
With scalping, and you are a rule-based trade, right? So that's interesting to know. The thing is, first to answer your question कि retail trader को option trading में आना या systematic trading में आना तो कितना capital होना चाहिए? So it varies on what kind of system that you are trying to build. Okay, I can only share my experience. So मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है, अगर आप कोई ऑप्शन सेलिंग में आते हो एंड विद एन इंक्रीज्ड मार्जिन बाय आर सेफ गार्ड और वॉच डॉग से भी, आई थिंक जो मिनिमम कैपिटल आपका 10 लाख से 15 लाख होना चाहिए. वाई वुड आई से 10 लाख से 15 लाख? पहले 5 लाख में भी काम हो सकता था क्योंकि 30,000 में ऑप्शन बिकता था. अभी 1.5 लाख में आपको अगर एक स्ट्रेडल बेचना है तो 1.5 लाख हो गया. फिर आपको उसके ऊपर ड्रॉ डाउन लगेगा, प्लस आपको एक एल्गो स्ट्रेटेजी बनाने के लिए खर्चा लगेगा, प्लस आपको एक डेटा वेंडर लेने के लिए खर्चा लगेगा. अगर आपके पास कोई सॉफ्टवेयर है जैसे कि ट्रेट्रोन हो गया, एल्गो बाबा हो गया, एल्गो जी हो गया, देयर आर सो मेनी आउट देयर एंड दीज आर ऑल माय फेवरेट्स, राइट? बट देयर इज अ कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व टू इट. प्लस आप अपने ब्रोकर को एपीआई के चार्जेस दे रहे हो. तो जब तक आप 10-15 लाख के ऊपर का आपका कैपिटल नहीं है, द रिटर्न विल नॉट जस्टिफाई. और सिस्टम ट्रेडिंग करके ऑनेस्टली मेरा जितना एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, आप कभी भी 100% 200% नहीं बना सकते अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू आर गोइंग. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ऑप्शन सेलिंग इन्वर्टेड इनटू द सिस्टम, लाइक इनवर्ट इन द मनी जाके ऑप्शन अगर आप नहीं बेचते हो सिस्टम ट्रेडिंग के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, आप कभी भी 50% या 80% के ऊपर रिटर्न नहीं बना सकते. अगर आप कर पाते हो सिस्टम करके, तो या तो आप इंस्टेंट अमाउंट ऑफ लीवरेज अपना खुद का पैसा और ब्रोकर का पैसा लेके भी कर रहे हो. जितनी भी स्ट्रेटेजीज हम लोग ने बैक टेस्ट की है वो सब फॉल बिटवीन 25 to 35%. व्हेन इट कम्स टू द ऑप्शन बाइंग, यस यू कैन मेक विद अ स्मॉल अमाउंट अ वेरी ग्रेट डील ऑफ अमाउंट. बट अगेन, अगर आपकी 40% या 50% आपकी एक्यूरेसी है ऑप्शन बाइंग में, और अगर आप एक मॉन्टे कार्लो सिमुलेशन करते हो अपनी स्ट्रेटेजीज का, 40% strategies can have 17 consecutive losses one after the another, taken over 1,000 trades or maybe 5,000 trades. अगर आपका ऑप्शन बाइंग में बहुत छोटा स्टॉप लॉस है तब तक तो ठीक है, लेकिन अगर आप 30% ऑफ योर कैपिटल या 20% या 10% ऑफ योर कैपिटल लगाते हो, देयर इज वेरी 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 हाई लाइकली चांस दैट आपके जब भी वो बीच में कभी भी वो 17 कंसेक्यूटिव ट्रेड आएंगे, यू विल वाइप ऑफ योर कैपिटल.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Alok? Alok, you have a question?
हेलो.
Yes. Yes,
हेलो.
Alok. Yes,
गुड
Alok.
इवनिंग सर. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जब ये क्या नाम है एल्गो रन होता है तो उस टाइम पे आप देखोगे निफ्टी में फ्यूचर में तो वॉल्यूम नीचे बिड एंड स्प्रेड में दिखाई देता है, ठीक है. बट जैसे ही एल्गो ट्रिगर होता है किसी का भी, फॉर एग्जांपल आज 14,900 पे 60,000 क्वांटिटी बाई साइड लगी हुई थी, लेकिन सडनली एक सेकंड आया और वो 60,000 क्वांटिटी खत्म हो गई और वहां से मार्केट धाड़ 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 नीचे गिरना हो गया. तो ये एल्गो मतलब कैसे मार्केट ऑर्डर पे काम करता है या पहले से प्रीफिक्स ऑर्डर पे काम करता है? ये कुछ इसमें थोड़ा सर एलिब्रेट करेंगे प्लीज.
हाँ आलोक जी, so there are many different kinds of algos. बहुत सारे तरह के algo होते हैं. देर इज समथिंग, कोई कुछ बोलता है लिक्विडिटी सिकर करके होते हैं, कोई वीवेप होते हैं, कोई टी वेप होते हैं, आइसबर्ग होते हैं। पर जस्ट आपने जो एग्जांपल दिया 7,000 वाला, वो कभी उसको स्पूफिंग अल्गो भी बोलते हैं। अगर आप 7,000 क्वांटिटी देख रहे हो तो आपको लगेगा कि अभी कोई बंदा है जिसको वो प्राइस तोड़ना है समझ लीजिए, और उसको कुछ नीचे की लिक्विडिटी चाहिए, तो वो 7,000 में खड़ा रह जाएगा पर ट्रेड नहीं करवाएगा। हम जैसे ट्रेडर्स वो 7,000 क्वांटिटी देख के उसके साथ अपनी क्वांटिटी लेने के लिए रख देते हैं कि बोला 7,000 कौन देगा। जैसे उसने देखा कि भाई बाकी 7,000 लोग आ गए हैं, तो उसने अपना बिड निकाल दिया और उसने जो 7,000 बेचना था पहले से वो बेच दिया आपको। सो दैट इज वन वे ऑफ डूइंग इट। दूसरा, वी विल नॉट ऑलवेज, हम लोग हर बार एल्गो को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते। देर आर ट्रेडर्स वो ट्रेड सच अ बिग क्वांटिटीज मैन्युअली ऑल्सो। तो हर एक टाइप के अलग अलग होते हैं। एक आइसबर्ग एल्गो बोलते हैं उसको। क्या बोलते हैं कि मेरे पास 10,000 क्वांटिटी है, मेरे को 10,000 क्वांटिटी मार्केट में दिखानी नहीं है, मेरे को 1,000 ही दिखानी है। तो और हर 1,000 के बाद नया नया ऑर्डर डालते रहेगा 1,000 का। तो आपको लगेगा कि ये क्या चल रहा है, ये हर बार ये 1,000 कहाँ से आ रहा है, मैं उसको फिल दे रहा हूँ वापिस 1,000 आ रहा है। लेकिन पता चला उसके बैकग्राउंड में उसके पास 1,00,000 क्वांटिटी है। तो बहुत अलग अलग टाइप के एल्गोज चलते हैं मार्केट में। कोई मार्केट मेकिंग एल्गो चलते हैं जो बिड आस्क के ऊपर आप देख रहे हो, खरीदता भी वही, खरीदने के लिए भी वही खड़ा है और बेचने के लिए भी खड़ा है। जब जो डीप ओटीएम ऑप्शंस होते हैं वहां पे अगर 2 रुपए में अगर अपना बीच में 16,500 वाला जो हुआ था कांड, आई थिंक इट वाज 16,500 इफ आई रिमेम्बर करेक्टली द स्ट्राइक, 2 रुपए तक किसी ने 14, सॉरी, हाँ 14,500, उसके पुट में डीप इन द मनी में जाके किसी ने पुट बेच दिया था, राइट। तो 2 रुपए तक कौन बैठा था, वो सब एल्गो बैठे थे। कोई रिटेल तो 2 रुपए में डाल के बैठता नहीं है लेने के लिए, फॉरगेट अबाउट बेचने के लिए, ठीक है। तो दिस इज, देयर आर डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ स्पूफिंग एल्गो, एग्जीक्यूशन एल्गो, तो अलग अलग टाइप के एल्गोज होते हैं।
गॉट इट। एसएल टेकर दिलीप आई थिंक।
नमस्कार विशाल जी।
नमस्कार दिलीप जी।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि अभी थोड़े दिन पहले मैंने ट्विटर पे पढ़ा था कर्व फिटिंग करके, भाई कर्व फिटिंग करके यदि आपका लॉस बहुत ज्यादा हो सकता है। अब जैसे मैं नॉर्मली 3 स्ट्रगल करता हूँ डिफरेंट टाइम पे, पर मेरा रिस्क मैनेज है, मतलब मैं अपने जो तीनों स्ट्रगल का ओवरऑल मेरा एसएल फिक्स है कि भाई मैं 2% है, 3% है, वट एवर, तो वो मेरा फिक्स है। तो मुझे कर्व फिटिंग इफेक्ट करेगी कि नहीं?
बढ़िया क्वेश्चन है, लेकिन मैं उसका आंसर है, पहले तो आपको ये 3 स्ट्रेडल की बैक टेस्ट करनी चाहिए। उससे आपको पता चलेगा कि अगर आप ये टाइम ड्यूरेशन को थोड़ा 19-20 करते हो, मतलब अगर समझ लो आप 3 अलग अलग टाइम फ्रेम पे मार रहे हो, समझ लो 9:20 को मार रहे हो, 10:30 को मार रहे हो, 11:30 को मार रहे हो, जस्ट फॉर एन एग्जांपल। अगर आप 9:20 की जगह पे 9:25 कर रहे हो, या फिर आप 11:30 को मार रहे हो तो 11:30 की जगह 11:40, 11:45 कर रहे हो, या थोड़ा कम कर रहे हो, तो आर यू स्टिल एबल टू मेक मनी इन द बैक टेस्ट? देन इट इज नॉट अ कर्व फिटेड, इट इज एन ऑप्टिमाइज्ड। आपको 3 टाइम अच्छे लगे वो ले लिया। जैसे जैसे आप थोड़े, अभी ये टाइम फ्रेम अभी तो चल रहा है, लेकिन धीरे धीरे आपको थोड़ा स्मार्टली भी ट्रेड करना चाहिए, क्योंकि टाइम फ्रेम एक एज है, ओके। बट धीरे धीरे वो एज खत्म होने लगेगी जैसे जैसे बड़े बड़े एल्गो ट्रेडर्स अपना पैसा डालना चालू कर देंगे। तो आपको अभी कर्व फिटिंग नहीं होगी, और वो मैं आपको आंसर भी नहीं दे सकता, क्योंकि आपको पहले आपकी जो 3 टाइम फ्रेम है उसको बैक टेस्ट करके देखना है, और वो टाइम पहले तो प्रॉफिटेबल है कि नहीं, क्योंकि आपने डायरेक्टली उनको मार रहे हो और पैसा बना रहे हो। अगर मैं आपको एक एडवाइस करता हूँ, ट्राई टू डू इट इन दी अर्ली मॉर्निंग हाफ, क्योंकि दोपहर के बाद मारते हो तो हम लोग ने देखा है एज कम हो जाती है। और वंस यू हैव बैक टेस्टेड योर सिस्टम, टाइम को थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे करके देखो, आर यू स्टिल नॉट एग्जैक्टली द सेम अमाउंट, लेकिन थोड़ा प्रॉफिट ऊपर नीचे होता है, लेकिन इतना भी नहीं कि आप लॉस मेकिंग हो जाओ, तो फिर वो कर्व फिटेड है, वरना आपको वो इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगा।
राइट। बिली बुचा।
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi, Vishal.
Hi.
I mean, is there any way to use stop loss timeout in algo? Like my SL got it's for 1 or 1 to 5 seconds, then it comes back. So, is there any way to use stop loss timeout?
What do you mean by stop loss timeout, Billy? Can you just elaborate, please?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, what I mean to say is, my SL got in the time for free trades.
Free
For
trade
just
में,
one,
okay.
yeah, for 1 to 5 seconds, my 25% stop loss was hit. Then after 5 seconds, it come back to my average price. So is there any way to use that avoid this?
Best way to avoid stop losses getting triggered is don't put them.
Yeah,
Jokes apart, you should always put the stop losses. And what are these stop loss are for? Okay, Billy, you have to think this. You pay term insurance, you have insurance, right? Life insurance for your family. Do you expect it to die every day? Answer is no. You are buying insurance policy or you are paying your term insurance every year just because in case of your death, your family gets benefited from it. Similarly, this is what the stop loss does. There is another way of saving some slippages that my good friend Kapil Agrawal does. That he came out with a brilliant idea. Once to save some slippages, like once there is a stop loss trigger, put it at the same price. Don't hit it go above 5 points up or down. Wait for 5 seconds, and if it does not get triggered in the 5 seconds, then hit the market order. So there are various ways, but just because your stop loss got triggered and came back to your average price should not encourage you to don't put stop losses or do something about it, because stop losses are to safeguard you for that one day where it can kill you.
Yeah. So, just Vishal, we'll take the last two questions. I think we are
Sure.
all.
हेलो
Yeah. So, yeah,
या
Rajesh ji, go.
हाँ थैंक यू विशाल जी बहुत अच्छी तरह से आपने समझाया मैंने स्ट्रीक को ऑप्ट किया था लगभग 2 महीने पहले और कुछ स्ट्रेटजीज मैंने बनाई थी और मैंने एज पर जो स्टैंडर्ड प्रैक्टिस प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं आपके कि उसको आपको रन करें आप जो है ड्राई रन करें उसको चेक करें वो सब किया और उसमें काफ़ी अच्छी मेरी जो है ना रिटर्न और परसेंटेज आ रही थी बट जब भी मैं उसको लाइव लेता हूँ मैं तो लाइव में सडनली मैं इमीडिएटली स्टॉप लॉस खा जाता हूँ मैं और उसकी वजह से मैं स्टिक को मुझे बंद करना पड़ा इसका क्या हो सकता है मुझे हेल्प करें जरा प्लीज क्योंकि आई एम वेरी मच इंटरेस्टेड इन एल्गो ट्रेडिंग और क्योंकि नॉर्मल वे में तो इस मार्केट में ट्रेडिंग आप कर ही नहीं सकते
अच्छा तो राजीव जी 2 पॉइंट है यहाँ पे
जी
कि जब भी आप कोई बैक टेस्ट करते हो, नो ऑफेंस अगेंस्ट ट्रिक और नो ऑफेंस अगेंस्ट एनी बैक टेस्टिंग सॉफ्टवेयर, लेकिन वो बहुत लिमिटेड डेटा पे बैक टेस्ट होता है, ठीक है। दूसरा, अगर वो लिमिटेड डेटा पे बैक टेस्ट है, आपने भी कुछ ऑप्टिमाइज किए रहेंगे नंबर और आपने बेस्ट नंबर उठा के ट्रेडिंग चालू कर दी, तो वो जब तक आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड योर सिस्टम और मे बी आई कैन नॉट गाइड यू, आई डोंट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड योर सिस्टम बट एटलीस्ट आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू गिव यू अ ब्रॉडर फ्रेमवर्क, एक बड़ा फ्रेमवर्क देना चाहता हूँ कि पहले तो जितना लंबे डेटा पे आप अपना बैक टेस्ट कर सकते हो उतना करो, क्योंकि वो हर मार्केट की अलग अलग डिफरेंट साइकिल होती है। दूसरा कि जब भी आप लाइव जाते हो ना तो उसमें बहुत सारा बड़ा कंसिडरेशन जाता है स्लिपेज का। अगर हम लोग ने हमारी स्टॉक की और एक फ्यूचर की दो स्ट्रेटेजी थी बंद कर दी, क्योंकि बैक टेस्ट में हम लोग ने कुछ अजम्पशन लिए थे खर्चे के और स्लिपेजेस के, और जब भी हम लोग रियल लाइफ में उनको ट्रेडिंग कर रहे थे तो उसमें जो खर्चे, ब्रोकरेज, स्लिपेजेस रियल लाइफ में बहुत ज्यादा आ रहे थे। तो जब भी पैसा बन रहा था, समझ लो हम लोग ने 1 लाख रुपए बनाया तो 50,000 तो सब खर्चा लेके चला गया, और जब भी 50,000 का लॉस हुआ उसमें 50,000 का खर्चा लग गया, तो नेट में 1.5 लाख पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव हो गया। आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू गिव यू पर्सपेक्टिव कि जो आप अगर स्टॉक्स और फ्यूचर्स में करते हो तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है आप स्टॉप लॉसेस और चार्जेस क्या डालते हो। दूसरा, आपने बोला कि मेरे स्टॉप लॉस ट्रिगर होते जो बैक टेस्ट में नहीं दिखते थे, बिकॉज जो बैक टेस्ट होता है ना वो रियल टिक बाय टिक डेटा पे नहीं होता है, विच इज वेरी रेयर टू बी ऑनेस्ट, क्योंकि आपकी जो सिचुएशन है नॉट एवरी डे विल हैपन, लेकिन कई बार होता है कि चार्ट में वो कहीं पे भी आपको वो वैल्यू नहीं दिखाता है, लेकिन रियल लाइफ में आपका स्टॉप लॉस ट्रिगर होकर नीचे आ जाता है। उसका रीजन है देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड ट्रू टिक बाय टिक डेटा, जो कोलोकेशन में सर्वर्स है ना उनको ही मिलता है, जो अपने को मिलता है सब डेटा वेंडर से। be it any data vendor, they are all snapshot feed. वो लोग 1 सेकंड के अंदर जितने भी ट्रेड होते हैं ना, उसको एक कंबाइंड बंच बना के भेजते हैं. तो कई बार उसके अंदर अपने हाई लो छप जाते, अपने ट्रेड हो जाते, लेकिन वो स्नैपशॉट फीड में कैप्चर ही नहीं होते. इसीलिए आप अगर जीरोधा और कहीं पे भी आप देखोगे तो बहुत सारी कंप्लेंट आती है कि मैंने चार्ट का हाई इतना था 300 रुपया, लेकिन मेरा 300 का स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गया शॉर्ट का, पर चार्ट का हाई तो 300 है, ये कैसे पॉसिबल है? एंड दी आंसर इज देयर इज स्नैपशॉट फीड. रियल टिक बाय टिक डेटा जो कोलो पे रहेगा उसका 302 में एग्जीक्यूट हो चुका था.
Got it. Shiva, go ahead. Ask
Yeah.
the last question for the day.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the giving opportunity. Hi, Vishal sir.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, I am a algo trader from past 8 months as a option buyer only Nifty option buyer on monthly options.
Okay.
So it's giving return very good on 5 lakhs, 15 to 20% every month.
Wow. Okay.
Only problem is I will put my hand into that. Why? Because I am seeing price actions and support on chart.
Right.
So it will punch the algo when the support is there, means already 150 points fall down, then it's taking PE. Then my mind starts putting hand and stopping the algo. Then it will give the remarks. Today I didn't stop the orders. I didn't put in my hand, but it given losses.
Yes. So what is your question, Sarji? I was laughing because I can relate to what you are saying. So what's
Yeah.
your question?
एक्चुअली क्या हो गया है ना, मैं जब भी अलगो अच्छा प्रॉफिट दे रहा है, लेकिन क्या हो गया देखो, आज जब वो ऊपर से गिर रहा था तब वो पी नहीं लिया, जब वो रिटर्न हुआ तब पी पंच किया अलगो ने, तो ऊपर जाके वो लॉस होके फिर सी पंच किया, फिर वो नीचे आके लॉस होके पी में क्लोज हो चुका है. मतलब मैं जब भी हाथ लगाता हूँ ना, जब वो प्रॉफिट देगा, जब हाथ नहीं लगाता हूँ जब लॉस लगा देगा.
तो आप हाथ लगाइए. मतलब मैं देखिए सर जी, आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट यहाँ पे कि बहुत सारे अच्छे डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर है जैसे आप हो, ठीक है, जो 15 से 20% या 10 से 15% मंथली कमाते हैं, वो आपकी एज है कि व्हेन यू आर ट्रेडिंग यू आर दी एज. ठीक है, डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर में यू आर दी एज, इन सिस्टमैटिक ट्रेडिंग दी एग्जीक्यूशन प्लेटफॉर्म इज दी एज और द ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम इज दी एज. तो अगर आप हाथ लगा के पैसा बना रहे हो तो देर इज नो नीड फॉर यू, आपको फुल्ली ऑटोमेशन जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप सेमी डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडिंग करो. आप अपना हाथ लगा के जब भी आपका व्यू हो रहा है आप ट्रेड कीजिए. मैं बहुत खराब था डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर, इसके लिए मैंने फुल्ली ऑटोमेटेड कर लिया. अगर मैं आपकी तरह अच्छा ट्रेडर होता था तो आई वुड स्टिल इंटरफियर विथ माई ट्रेडिंग एंड ट्राई टू मेक मनी. अगर मैं 15-20% बना रहा हूँ विच इज फिनोमिनल एंड आई नो इन ऑप्शन बाइंग यू कैन डू इट.
Yeah.
So
yeah, great. So I think Vishal, we are almost run over time. There is, I think, one last, I think, person who is wanting to ask a question. If you don't mind, should we just take one last and then call it a day? Yeah. Okay. So Naresh, yeah, I'll invite Naresh. Naresh, go ahead, ask your question. Naresh. Okay, I guess he is not able to talk. So no worries. Vishal.
No, I think so. You put it on mute. Naresh has gone on mute.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, you can unmute him. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's it.
No worries. So anyway, Vishal,
maybe I want to take one more question because Naresh could not answer. So let me answer one more. I'm enjoying it honestly. So maybe if there is one more question, then I can take then close it a day. I don't want to go half-heartedly.
No. So in fact, there is one more question from Dilip. He had asked earlier question, but again, Dilip, go ahead, ask your second question. Dilip?
Maybe everybody has put it on mute and went to sleep.
Okay, no worries.
No worries.
Kadam, go ahead.
Hello. Can I ask a question? Hey,
Yeah,
hi,
Kadam, go
yeah,
ahead,
hi,
please.
Vishal. Hi. So my question is actually a bit different, right? So when we do any investments, right, whether it's mutual funds or direct equities, right? So there is a drawdown, right? So right now, I think equity investments are going on drawdown of 15 to 20%, right? So even the trading system is the same, right? Basically, you go in a drawdown, but if your trading system has good risk and money management, the drawdown can be shorter than long-term investment, right? So basically,
That,
right, but theory it's same, right? I mean, if you are trading a system with solid risk and money management, you are doing same thing again and again, but your periodic drawdown is very fast, right? So it might be 1 month in drawdown and then again up, right? But in terms of, for example, I'm investing in mutual funds, but it could be next 2 years would be in drawdown, who knows, right? So so is the understanding of, can we say that, a solid system with good risk and money management and a long-term investment are having actually a similar kind of risk, basically, right? And probably the returns as well, right?
sure. So, Kadam, I think so. You asked the question, you gave the answer. So, I'm just going to, kind of, mold it in a way that it is, kind of understandable. That's for me also. So, first of all, when it comes to the
Hmm.
investment and everything, I believe in the world is risk and reward. Like when you are in a drawdown of 2%, in a 2 years in a mutual fund or an equity investment, but when you make 60, 70, 80% return as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And when we will never have a system unless it is an option buying strategy or a future, we will never have a drawdown greater than 50, 60%. We will always bounce back from 10 to 20%. Now, what is the ideal way? And this is what I have seen happening practically with my portfolios and with my investments and the trading strategies, and especially option selling strategies. So when there is a massive bull run in 2017, and when you do any option selling strategies or a systematic option selling strategy in 2017, it failed miserably to give any kind of any superior return. Like they would have given only 12, 15%. Why? Because when the market was in a complete bull trend, there was no volatility. Everybody was happy making money on their long term investment. And at that point of time, the options actually underperformed. There was no volatility. Come Jan, Feb, March, we had a 12% quarter. Okay? We had a fantastic Jan, Feb, and March where the market crashed. Why? Because the volatility, when the market crashing, the volatility increases, your options become quite expensive, and when we are selling quite expensive options, the return also kind of gets generated. So to answer your question, you ideally need to mix both of them to get an ultimate return. Like, you have a long only portfolio or, long directional portfolio which will do well, very well, and no system will be able to beat it, right? Trust me. अगर आप एक लॉन्ग ओनली फंड में लेके जाते हो 2017 में और आप एक सिस्टमेटिक ट्रेडिंग ले लो कोई भी, they will underperform because 2017, 2002 to 2008 were massive bull run. अगर आप उसके अंदर सिस्टम डालते थे, you would have completely underperformed. But when 2008 crash came or 2020 crash came or recently Jan Feb March crash came in, not a crash but a fall because of Russia Ukraine thing, your trading system would give you money but your investment will get butchered. So you combine both them to have a very smooth equity curve for your portfolio. Maybe I have answered your small question in a long way.
Yeah, correct. That makes sense actually. Yeah. So basically, it's a non-correlation, and volatility will help in option selling in the drawdowns for long-term portfolios. Yeah. Thanks, Vishal.
Very nice. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
now
you.
I'm feeling, I'm started yawning now.
No, thank you, Vishal. First, so you sort of answered all the questions so enthusiastically, and I know it got stretched a little bit for almost 1.5 hours, but thank you, Vishal, again for taking this, and look forward to continue to remain in touch with you. And whenever you are in Bangalore next, do buzz me. So I would love to meet you face to face also.
I will be coming soon. I think so. Maybe a week after that.
Sure. Let me know.
Okay. Then.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and have a great trading day tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.